First of all, I've known Malik as an actor for the longest time. Been a fan. So when
New day, new drama in South Africa. According to new reports, Connie Ferguson visits Presley Chweneyagae's grave with indecent dressing that sparks reaction. Please like this video as you watch. Connie Ferguson's controversial grave visit. Backlash erupts over her bold outfit at Presley Chweneyagae's final resting place. In what was intended to be a heartfelt and emotional visit to the gravesite of late South African actor Presley Chweneyagae, legendary actress and media entrepreneur Connie Ferguson found herself at the center of an intense media storm and public backlash. Instead of focusing solely on her act of remembrance, public attention shifted almost entirely to her choice of attire during the somber occasion, an outfit many deemed inappropriate, even indecent, for a cemetery visit. The incident quickly snowballed into a national debate, dominating online discussions and dividing fans, cultural critics, and celebrities alike. Ferguson's outfit, stylish but revealing in the eyes of many, has reopened discussions around how public figures navigate traditional values in modern society, particularly when it comes to paying respects to the dead. Presley Chweneyagae, whose role in the 2005 Academy Award-winning film Tsotsi remains one of the most iconic performances in South African cinema, passed away unexpectedly earlier this year. His death shocked fans and sent ripples through the entertainment industry. As tributes poured in from fans and colleagues alike, Connie Ferguson had stayed relatively quiet until she recently visited his gravesite in a private, yet visually captured moment. Ferguson, known for her commanding presence both on-screen and off, arrived at the grave dressed in a fitted, black leather mini dress, accompanied by sheer mesh sleeves and high-heeled boots. Her look, while elegant and dramatic, quickly sparked outrage when photos began circulating online. Many viewed the ensemble as highly inappropriate for a cemetery setting. The images spread rapidly across social media platforms, igniting fierce debate about decency, respect, and celebrity culture. Within hours, hashtags like #ConnieAtTheGrave and #PresleyMemorialLook began trending. Critics lashed out with comments that ranged from disappointment to outright condemnation, arguing that Ferguson's outfit detracted from the solemnity of the occasion. There's a time and place for everything. A grave is not a runway, one Twitter user posted. We grew up being taught to respect the dead, and that includes dressing modestly when visiting a grave. What she wore was not it, another commented. However, not everyone agreed. Supporters rallied to Ferguson's defense, praising her sense of individuality and highlighting the fact that mourning is a personal experience that cannot always be confined to traditional expectations. People should stop dictating how someone grieves. She went there with a pure heart, and that's what matters, one fan wrote. Y'all are mad at a woman wearing a short dress, but not at the media constantly invading private moments. Let her be, another added. As the digital debate grew louder, the media picked up the story, amplifying the noise around Ferguson's outfit choice and fueling further discussion across talk shows, online forums, and news outlets. In many African cultures, mourning and respect for the dead are governed by long-standing customs and values. Modesty, solemnity, and humility are considered critical when attending funerals or visiting graves. The traditional expectation is that visitors should wear conservative, often dark clothing as a symbol of mourning and honor for the deceased. This is where many feel Connie Ferguson crossed a line. Her fashion-forward look, though celebrated in everyday settings, was seen by many cultural observers as clashing with the sacredness of the cemetery environment. Professor Thabiso Molaliki, a cultural analyst at the University of Limpopo, explained during a live interview, "There is a sacredness to death in African traditions. It's not just about appearance, it's about spiritual respect. While we must acknowledge that fashion evolves, there are contexts where traditional values should still hold weight." Others, however, counter-argued that cultural rigidity can sometimes exclude modern expressions of grief and personal identity. Grief manifests differently for everyone. Holding women, especially celebrities, to unrealistic standards rooted in outdated norms isn't helpful, said Dr. Nandi Zulu, a feminist scholar. After days of silence amid the social media firestorm, Connie Ferguson took to her Instagram page to address the backlash. In a thoughtful and composed video, she expressed her sadness over the incident and reiterated that her intentions had been pure. Presley was someone I deeply respected. My visit to his grave was deeply personal. I didn't expect it to become a topic of public conversation, let alone controversy. I dressed in what felt natural to me, without intending to offend, she said. Ferguson emphasized that the moment was about honoring Presley's memory, and that she hoped people would focus more on the man he was and the impact he left behind rather than what she wore during a private moment. Her response was met with mixed reactions. Some praised her courage and authenticity, while others felt she had not sufficiently acknowledged the cultural importance of dressing appropriately at sacred spaces. In a bid to de-escalate tensions, a member of the Chweneyagae family spoke to the press, asking the public to shift focus from Ferguson's attire back to Presley's legacy. According to the family spokesperson, Connie Ferguson was a friend and a peer to Presley. Her visit meant a lot to us. While we understand people's concerns, we do not believe her intentions were malicious or disrespectful. Presley would not have wanted this kind of noise around his memory. This gracious response from the family helped soften some of the criticism and brought renewed focus on Presley's contributions to the arts, rather than the controversy surrounding his memorial. The fallout from Connie Ferguson's graveside visit is reflective of larger societal tensions. In an age where every public figure is under constant observation and judgment, the lines between private mourning and public persona continue to blur. Social media has become a space where individual grief is no longer protected, but rather dissected and debated. Furthermore, this incident has highlighted how female celebrities, in particular, are scrutinized for their appearances in a way that their male counterparts are not. Whether it's at red carpet events, casual outings, or even at grave sites, women in the public eye often find themselves criticized for their clothing, regardless of context. This double standard raises important questions. Is there a universally right way to grieve? Should cultural expectations evolve with time? And how much autonomy should individuals have when it comes to personal expression during emotionally charged moments? Connie Ferguson's visit to Presley Chweneyagae's grave, originally meant to be a silent gesture of remembrance and respect, inadvertently opened a Pandora's box of social commentary. Her outfit, interpreted by many as inappropriate, became the focal point of a larger conversation about mourning, decency, celebrity behavior, and evolving cultural values. While opinions remain divided, one truth remains. Presley Chweneyagae was an extraordinary talent whose legacy deserves to be honored with dignity. Amid the noise of controversy, it is essential to remember the reason for Connie's visit, to pay tribute to a man who changed the face of African cinema and inspired millions. Perhaps the real lesson from this controversy is the importance of empathy, both for the deceased and the living, especially those navigating the complex journey of grief in the public eye.